it must have been a shock when you found out that he was sick. I mean, being
Um,
that you guys were so close and he was in your life
yeah,
and everything.
yeah. Just as a kid, you don't understand what sick is. You feel what I'm saying? So as a kid, you say I'm sick. Oh, okay. Sniffles, nose. I got no socks on, running outside with no shirt on. So, in an aspect of when my grandmother was the first individual that told me that he was sick, you wouldn't think nothing in the nature of it. You feel what I'm saying? Until we actually had to go to the hospital. But even going to the hospital and seeing him that first week before he passed away, he was conversating like me and you. You know what I mean? Just normal. Like, oh, I have a bronchitis cough. And you know what I mean, some little, fluid in my lungs, and he's on bed, but he's eating McDonald's, he's chilling, he's cracking jokes, you feel what I'm saying? So it's normal. And then the seriousness got into it when it was my, maybe third visit, when we had to go up there early in the morning because he was going to have a procedure done to clear the leakage of his lungs. And from that point on was the last time he could talk. Yeah.
That must have been tough.
Very, very, very life-changing tough. Life-changing hurt. Yeah.
At that age, man, that's just 10 years old is a real
Yeah, yeah.
critical time for a kid,
Very,
man.
very much, very much. You don't understand nothing, and then you got to think like less than a week later, he's gone. You know what I mean? So yeah, it was different. At that time, I was the only child there. I'm the oldest, so when he went through the procedure, I was the only one there. Remembering at the time, as we're speaking of it, my grandmother, my grandfather, his sister, my auntie Trish, my uncle Kenny, his oldest brother, and my uncle Donald. You know what I mean? We were all pretty much there. And as I'm thinking about it, kind of remember, you used to think that he's buried inside your head, but remember, the doctors walking in and them pumping on his chest and them walking me away until I could go back into the room. And from that point on, it was just like no communication. He's just looking at you crying, you know what I mean? And I'm crying, and he can't talk, but he wants to talk. Like, he has tubes in his mouth. So as a kid, it was a nightmare because you feel like they were resisting you from saying something, resisting you from getting up. And I mean, like, I just never understood it. So when you think back to the question earlier, is the life growing up, that's when kind of you would think like the negative and evil came in my life because I just was hurt. I had no understanding to it. So it was gangbanging, you know what I mean? Like, fuck any and everything that makes me mad, and I'm going to be mad that quick because I don't know how to deal with the pain that I'm going through, you know what I'm saying? Like, my daddy's just gone. I don't understand this. Nobody can explain it to me, I don't know what AIDS is. I don't know what HIV is. And I know Magic Johnson's still living. So all the stuff that you're seeing from the media and being told what's what, what's this, what's that, it's like, well, why this man's still living and mine's not? My daddy got just as much as money as him, basketball player or not. He was making $10 million a month. You know what I mean? So I don't understand that.
It affected you in like a way that made you kind of angry and everything?
Very much, very much, very much. Anger, pain, you know what I mean? And being in Compton, California is only so much you're going to sit here and turn to go do. You know what I mean? Now you're thinking about a kid who, my grandmother loves me to death. You know what I mean? She did the best that she can, and she did an amazing job raising me. You feel what I'm saying? I probably would have been on the off road if it wasn't for her in my life. You feel what I mean? But even as we get older now, I hear stories of her, how I stressed her out because I'm not coming home until the, street lights is on and all that and the other. So you didn't really take a hold of it when you were a kid. And as you get older and I have kids, they're like, wow, I put my grandma through a lot. Because why? She lost her baby boy, and I'm the only grandchild she's raised. You feel what I'm saying? So in a sense, she's always lived that life like, it's Eric. My name's Eric. You know what I'm saying? It's Eric again. It's Eric again. So she worried. My grandfather told me that before he passed one time. And you just dawn on it. Sometimes I just look at her and tell her I love her. Because, I didn't imagine what you were going through. It's your youngest child, and then you have to raise his son. So just imagine the life revolving that you had to go through. Maybe it was pain for you as well, too. You know what I mean? But no, I definitely turned to the streets, and you went and followed the individuals that were my friends, my dad's friends and their sons. So we all have like a similar story, if their father didn't get killed or he's in jail, we're running around and we're just living the stories of what our daddies were. So yeah, you turn to the streets and gangbang.